Hello and good day to you. My name's Christine Mavis and I'm a certified traditional naturopath. And if you would be so inclined, you may like and subscribe to my channel by clicking the thumbs up down below and by clicking on the subscribe button. This helps to support the channel. And you are also welcome to make comments down below after watching the video. We always love hearing about your input. So today, what I'd like to talk to you a little bit about is getting minerals in your diet. Minerals are very important because they are involved with so many different functions in your body. And they're all important functions. And the body does not produce any minerals at all. You have to get all these minerals just from your diet and your food intake, primarily. The body does produce a few vitamins, some of the vitamins, but it does not produce any minerals, and that's why I always make a big deal about this, because too many people are running around and they're deficient in minerals, and it's just so important for the diet. And so today what I'm going to do is show you some practical ways just to get minerals in your diet in general, because it makes it a little bit more fun. And so now I'm going to take you over to look at some notes so that you can get a little bit more information about this. Okay, so now I want you to see some of the minerals that are important to have in your diet here. There are quite a few of them, and the major ones that are important in the diet are the calcium, chloride, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, and sulfur. And these are sort of designated as some of the major minerals. And they're important for many functions, and this is something that could be researched because it can get into quite a lot of detail, and I will be doing some future videos discussing this in more detail as well. And then some of the minerals that may be considered as minor, and the reason they're considered more as minor is because they are not required in as large of quantities as the major minerals. The major minerals are required in larger quantities, but it does not mean that the minor minerals are less important. It just means that you don't need as much of them. And so these minerals are iron, zinc, copper, manganese, iodine, selenium, molybdenum, chromium, fluoride, silicon, cobalt, vanadium, and nickel. And some of these have like the FDA requirements of the amount that you should have. As natural practitioners with naturopathic interests, there are some times that we tend to encourage people to do more, but it all depends on the person and the situation. But you would need to research like the requirements, or perhaps look at some supplements that would have some recommendations. And so some of the things that minerals help with in general, just to give you an overview, is nerve function, fluid balance, muscle contraction, blood clotting, muscle relaxation, healthy bones and teeth, acid-base balance, immune system health, normal growth, blood sugar regulation and metabolism, wound healing, and oxygenation, among many other things. So as you can see, it's very important that we get these minerals into our diet. And so this is just a nice way to kind of get an overview. I'm not going to be giving you like exactly what to do, because they're really, as far as I have seen, are not really any supplements that have all of these in there. There is a colloidal mineral supplement I've seen from the Herbal Healer Academy that has many of these minerals and more probably, and that might be as close as you can get, but it's difficult sometimes to get enough of the major minerals in with a supplement that's that broad. But there are supplements out there that have some great minerals in them. I just have not found one particular one that really has everything for the most part. And so now I will go forward and show you some fun ways that you can incorporate some of this into your diet to help with getting more of these in. Okay, so I have some fun ways that we can try to get more minerals into our diet in general. And something you can do is try to eat a little bit more seafood. Seafood, the ocean's full of a lot of great minerals for us. And one thing that I really like is occasionally I use this bullwhip kelp. I use it, I put it into soups and stews. Some days I just even eat a little bit of it plain. It's seaweed, and I got this seaweed from Ryan Drum, who is a really great herbalist out there. He's pretty well known, and he does a lot of work with seaweeds. And it does taste a little bit salty because the ocean is full of sodium. And so seaweed and some of these seafoods, they're just really fantastic to help you get a lot of different minerals in. They're one of the better ways you can do it. Another great way to get a lot of minerals in that's really fairly easy and practical and kind of fun is to use nettles. Seaweed is just a fabulous oceanic type of food that can be very helpful with minerals. And so then if we go in and we are looking at things more terrestrial, we're more inland, we're not on the ocean, and so forth, nettles is a great plant to do this with. It's called stinging nettles sometimes, so if you're out and about and you see a plant growing, you need to be careful about touching the leaves because they've got some little thorns on them that if you prick your finger on those plants, they have formic acid in them, and that can cause quite a bit of stinging, and that's why it is called stinging nettles. But fortunately for us, you can buy nettles that have been grown and harvested and dried and crumbled right on the market, and you can make lovely nettles tea, or you could take nettles in capsules. But I love to make the nettles tea. I just buy it in bulk. It's really affordable. Put it in a tea ball, steep your tea for 5 minutes and drink, and that's a great way to get some minerals. You can also include nettles into your soups and stews and things like that. So as seaweed is so great a product of minerals from the ocean, nettles is a wonderful product from the land. These plants, the roots, they grow deep and they grow all over in order to utilize minerals out of the soil, so they can be brought up into the plant, and then it makes the plant a wonderful, rich mineral supplement, so to speak. So I really love that. Other things you can do are eat meats and organ meats. When I eat organ meats in particular, especially like if I'm eating chicken livers or something like that, I always go to my health food store. I like to buy chickens that are raised in a more organic fashion with good feed and maybe free range running, because they do pick up good nutrients off the ground while they're picking on the ground and so forth. The liver is an organ in animals that filters out bad things and processes them. So if you are eating liver from animals that perhaps don't have a good diet and so forth, then you're incorporating some of that into your own self. And it's just so much better to avoid that, and just buy the great free-range organic chicken livers at the health food store. So that's what I recommend, and that's what I do. Also, eating nuts is a great way to do it. I like to eat some walnuts, and you can research online all the minerals that are in walnuts. I also like to eat some of the Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts have some selenium in them, which is great. Selenium is a great mineral. It helps with a lot of things. It also is known for being helpful for perhaps helping to prevent cancers. And so I think selenium is something that people should look at getting in their diet for sure. And so nuts are just a great thing. Also, having some seeds in your diet. A type of seed that's very healthy is flaxseed. I love this organic flaxseed meal here. I often buy the flax seeds, though, in the bulk food section. I buy the whole flax seeds, and then I have a special coffee grinder I use to grind herbs. And mostly what I grind in mine is the flax seeds. And so what you could do is just add these into smoothies. You could put them on top of different dishes. It gives you a bit of a nutty taste. It also is high in omega-3 fatty acids, which many Americans are deficient in. That's just another side point. But the seeds in general have some great minerals, like even some of the sunflower seeds can be really great, and sesame seeds. So with the nuts, though, with the nuts and seeds, you do need to kind of just keep an eye on the calories. So it's great to have them, but you don't, eat huge volumes of them. But do eat a handful or so, which is great. Another really fun way to get minerals in is in the teas. I've got red rooibos tea here, and they're called red teas. They're also called bush teas, and they originate out of Africa for the most part. I'm sure there's some cultivation of these in other areas, but at any rate, the red teas also are touted for having good mineralization in them. So that's another great way you can do it. And I think sometimes you can even drive through some of these coffee places like Starbucks and otherwise. Sometimes they have red teas there that you can drink. A lot of them will have like a vanilla rooibos tea or something during part of the year. So that's another option. And then another great way to get some minerals in is to use molasses. And I like to use organic blackstrap molasses, which is what this is. And I just take maybe 2 tablespoons and stir it into my water, and then use that as my water to drink for the day. And I might even stir in 3 tablespoons, depending on the size of my water jug. But this is another great way, the blackstrap molasses. It's just so easy, and there you go. And then there are supplements you can also take. One that I think is kind of nice for some of the trace minerals is this Trace Minerals supplement. It's from Mortar Health. And I will put the websites to locate some of these things down in the notes below this video as well. But this is really fantastic. It can give you some of these more trace minerals that you need in the smaller quantities. And it also has some calcium, but probably not enough calcium for your day, but at least some to get started. But it's a great supplement to get some of the trace minerals. And I also recommend like the Colloidal Mineral supplement from Herbal Healer Academy. That can give you a lot of great minerals as well. And then another great way to get some minerals in a supplement form is to use some good coral calcium. Coral calcium is harvested out of the sea. There we go. And it's another thing to take a good look at, is to get some good quality coral calcium. This one here is from the Herbal Healer Academy, and I do really like a lot of their supplements. There are also some other great companies out there that have a good coral calcium. And you can also do things like, eating egg yolks. That's a great way to get some minerals in. Dried fruits and just fruits in general, vegetables in general. Leafy green vegetables are great. Some of the dairy out there is good, of course, for the calcium and so forth. And the beans and legumes are great. And also some of the mineral waters out there you can take a look at. Yeah, that's mostly what I have on my list today. But just to give you an idea of just, some fun ways that you can get these in your diet, and you can use some supplements, but it's also nice to do some food. And then there's a book I wanted to show you. It is Nutritional Herbology. So if you wanted to incorporate some of the herbs in your diet, like herbs and spices in your cooking and so forth, it really helps to increase the nutritional content of your food, minerals and otherwise. And the book's just fantastic. For example, the book shows on one page that if you want to get some potassium in your diet, that you can eat bananas. And that's a good thing to do. But also you can eat some of the citrus fruits. And another interesting thing, and you could look through a book like this and find all kinds of interesting things, but one thing that I found interesting is that if you're looking to get more potassium in your diet, parsley is a great thing. You can make parsley tea or just incorporate parsley into your food. And it's incredible. I mean, the parsley has even more of the potassium in it than the banana. So it's just something to keep in mind. So mostly that's what I wanted just to show, is just to encourage you to incorporate more minerals into your diet, and these are just some kind of fun, more easy ways to do that. And this can really help you to move forward on your path to greater wellness. Have a great day.